I'm going to try recording again now. I've had a lot of issues with my phone this morning. Oh my god, it's working. What a wonderful thing. I'm guessing as well that the internet's had a little phone call to Telstra to have the internet slowed down or something like that. These are the type of things that my mother would do rather than reply to the messages. So as you can see, we have a provocateur provoking a situation, and that has kidnapped my mentally ill mother straight out of hospital. Puts her straight in hospital and then kidnaps her, provokes and participates in a scene. This is par for the course of this man's strategy. And in reward for this strategy, he gets a lower and lower number plate from the Gin Shire. So at least we're going to know where to look. So I'd pretty much expect to have a meeting of the lowest 15 members of the Gin WA Shire on my front lawn this morning to have a little discussion about, excuse me, pyramid schemes. Pyramid schemes in anything is a fucking nightmare, let alone a fucking shire, a large area of land where people fucking live and people have farms and people fucking do all kinds of shit and won't put up with a pyramid scheme being initiated onto them. So I'd like maybe the first 50, however many of the fuckers you can fucking get on my front lawn this morning had better fucking rock up. Yeah, this wild goose chase is fucking done. You want to incentivise unofficial shire workers to do your dirty work? You'd better fucking show up on my fucking lawn this morning. Or we can just shut the fucking shire down. The whole fucking thing. We're going to take a snapshot of this little fucking shire, of this little town. We're going to expand it across the entire state to see the dirty kind of bullshit that's been going on to fucking colonise whilst claiming evils of previous colonisers. That's right, we've got a retiree, dad's army fucking pyramid fucking scheme, art of the deal fucking extravaganza going on here. Picking off elderly people, positioning yourself as carers, or mentally ill people, positioning yourself as carers, doing the dirty work that the Shire won't be wanting to be seen doing. You're all in a whole lot of fucking trouble. I'm sure you're not used to hearing that, since you're old fucking annoying people that have probably just been telling everyone how they're in trouble for a long time. And you didn't realise that you'd wandered into the oldest fucking trick in the book. Literally. The oldest trick in the book. Hey, let's make it all a pyramid scheme. Well, if you get in, then you get better, yeah? And it's all going to go places. It's really going to go places. It's not going anywhere. It's going to the fucking toilet. What a fucking absolute joke of a situation. Now, how many of you are there that are doing this? And am I going to do this from Western Australia or am I going to do this from Tasmania? It's a whole lot better if this gets done from Western Australia, just quietly. If I have to exit here to flee the state of my birth to combat a Ponzi scheme undertaken probably majoritively by expats receiving two pensions, one from the UK and one from Australia. That's not going to look good. Nobody wants that on the record. Yeah, this kind of hand-in-glove medical pension, communist, utopian fucking Ponzi scheme, real estate fucking extravaganza. This is a bad day for Gin. Or it's a really good day for Gin. I haven't fucking found out yet. Just like yesterday I didn't find out whether the people that generally do the most disruptive thing, whether they're going to, in fact, then do the exact most disruptive thing. just purely to cause disruption. Imagine this is your mother. Every situation, disruption. Every situation, hanging you off a cliff. If you don't do exactly as she says, she hangs you off a cliff. This is what I was left with, according to the fucking logic of the West Australian government. This is official strategy of the West Australian government's long-term parental caring structure, is to release mentally ill people from mental hospitals and then leave them in charge whilst paying them, unofficial babysitters club, unofficial mental health club. Who looks after the mentally health people? The children that have been stolen. They look after them. And who looks after the children? The mentally ill people. What a scheme. I can see why the precedent was clear and the road was fucking paved in gold, more than likely, to do this type of thing. To get it in your mind that you can actually do this type of thing out in the fucking open and expect that the dumb fucking millennial children are not smart enough to fucking expose it. And it's going to be exposed on my front lawn, either by you not rocking up or by you rocking up. Either fucking way. This wasn't how the Shire was built. I don't know who these fucking people are that have fucking commandeered the place and have got their own little badge system and incentive structure of number plates. Oh, how did you go from 1080 to 294, Anthony Paul Moulding? Did you do good work for the wild goose chase? Did you get him out of the Shire? You're doing such a good job, Paul, when you ride a train around for other kiddies. You ride a kid around to other kiddies, the train, yeah, and you do the archery with the Nazi on the weekend. And you steal mentally ill people and make them go to the hospital and take some medication. And you come and you set your house like it's a shopping center for all medication is also always there. You are such a good boy, Paul. You are such a good Nazi boy. And you are now going to go to number 1 of the Shire. You get number 1 number plate. And Paul Moulding Estate will be cast into the future of ever. And all your children's will be dukes and duchesses of the Shire of Gingin. The little Shire that could, yes? Let me feel all the good spirits this morning. So yes, my elderly mother, who's mentally ill, was forcibly and non-communicatively. That means I wasn't communicated. I'm here, living here, I've been here in a capacity of care for over 12 years. There was no communication with that person about the hospitalisation in a big hurry. You should have seen them. They were in such a fucking hurry that day. Just scrambling out. Got to get her top up. Got to go get her reset, her factory reset from the Apple factory. Ramsay Health. Gordon Ramsay, you better not have any fucking thing to do with this. Yeah? Because if you do, I'm going to fucking kill you. Yeah? So you'd better fucking stick to the kitchen and you'd better stop cooking up fucking bullshit health scams in my fucking country. Otherwise, I will hunt you down and I will gut you like a pig. And then I will serve you on a roasted fucking bed of fucking asparagus and fucking whatever. Squash. I don't like when names of private health institutions line up with fucking TV chefs. I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like it when it's kind of like a one-stop shop for family fucking torture and for manipulation of fucking social status and things like that. Oh, what are we going to do with him? Take him to Ramsay Healthcare. We'll call him crazy. Ha ha. Don't worry about that person who's being disruptive and trying to grow plants organically in their garden. No, take them to Ramsay Healthcare. They're going to fucking sort it right out. No one will do business with them ever again. Ramsay Healthcare, we care about you. As long as your number plate's the right number. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, mate. Yeah, you know what I mean? So how about we get a big old muster and we muster all these fucking new English, because they're not English, they're new English. I don't know where the fuck they came from. They fucking crawled up from the sewer and then left as soon as they were in the fucking thing at 1 degree above fucking bullshit. They're like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go steal Australia by fucking corrupting mentally ill people and destroying families and mowing tons of lawns. I'm going to mow so many fucking lawns. So yeah. 50, 0 to 50, Western Australian Gin Shire on my front fucking lawn this morning. If you do not want to participate, then I will participate. Non-fucking stop. I will dig into every single one of your fucking financial situations and your business dealings and everything, and I will find every conflict of interest and I'll expose the whole fucking thing. But it's already too late because I'm already talking about it. And this is why you should adjudicate. If you are doing a number plate system, maybe do it on the person that's fucking planting trees in the town. Or fucking, I don't know. Like doing good, not doing your good. I don't exactly know what happened to the families of this town. They were strong-armed to get some fucking bullshit fucking anomaly as their fucking CEO. Dragged in from another fucking shithole fucking town that is being gentrified. But do not forget, if you're a fucking expat from the New England, that this place was colonised and settled by English people. So you're dealing with your same fucking kind. And we will deal with it the same way it was dealt with when we arrived. Not when you fucking arrived. If we have to. That is. You know, we don't want to do that. We don't want to have to stop the world's clock and say, hang on a sec, we're actually at a different time in settlement. I don't see castles and forts and all this shit around here. I see a bunch of fucking telegraph poles. Yeah? And I'm from England. And I came here to do a job. And if that job is being white-anted by new English people rocking up and fucking using pyramid schemes and absolute bullshit to fucking do a job, then they will receive heavy opposition from every direction all at once. And Kia, if you don't want to come and sort your problem out you could start by freezing all fucking pensions in Australia. If you want to keep claiming that colonisation is all this shit from all this fucking left-wing bullshit, then cut the colonisers off. The new English colonisers. The ones getting paid by England to colonise here in terrible ways by taking the native population. My mother, who was born and raised on the banks of the Canning River. Yeah, not in fucking wherever the Coventry, wherever the fuck your lawn mowing little cunt fucking face came from. England doesn't like when people act autonomously whilst being supported by England, doing far worse than what is being claimed that they did negatively right now in the open. Yeah? They don't like it. So why is it happening? Who's doing it? Let's have a discussion on the front lawn of my mother's house this morning, Gin Shire. Or continue to avoid every single confrontation, to send people to spray poison, to send people to fucking destroy every single thing I did in research and development of sustainable agriculture. Continue to fucking do it. I don't fucking care. It's too hot here. I'd like to go to Tasmania and start a fucking series of lawsuits against you all. I can't fucking wait. All I want to do is put on a suit and tie and fucking string yous up from the fucking courtroom and expose every little bit of dirty shit that's been going on. So I don't give a fuck. But I thought it was courteous to at least offer the invitation this morning to you all. to let you know what's coming around the fucking bend. Now, to any of the historical families of Gingin, I assume you have no idea what's going on here and you're absolutely overwhelmed by this fucking influx of bullshit. So none of this is reflected at you. If you're operating an agricultural venture in this town and have been doing for lots of years, but it's not going to be me that's going to come in and say about anything that you're doing. I simply wish to expose the misdeeds and let everyone know the type of bullshit that is going on behind the scenes. How many bridges exactly do we need to a fucking random cow paddock on the other side of the brook? Yeah? What exactly are the legal charges I'm going to use? I don't know yet. I'll find out though. I'll find out lots and lots and lots, and I'll just keep pushing them through. And I'll publish every single one of them. And I'll let every single person know why they should stay the fuck away from Gingin. Why they should stay away from every little town. In every little nook and cranny of Western Australia. Because it is infiltrated with bloated, propped up, bludgeoning, communist cowards. So why the fuck would you bother? Western Australia, why would you bother? What a fucking slogan. Why would you bother? Yeah? You know what I mean? Why would you fucking bother? I wouldn't in a million years. If a person that's willing to live in their fucking shed and live on oats and do all this thing isn't willing to live here, then why the fuck would anyone else live here? It's a Ponzi scheme, which usually means that the underlying thing is shit, and it's being made more shit as part of their scam. It is a property holding of speculative wankers that are speculating on a future that they're not doing anything to bring forth. They're just destroying people in the town. Young, ambitious, innovative people. Not just me, lots of people. Rushed out of town. On a fucking rail, literally. On a little fucking Lions Club fucking toy rail. Yeah, with a man with a fucking giant fucking room full of Disney fucking movies rides people's children around. And elevates the Shire ladder because of his deeds done on behalf of the Shire's interests. Now, these are just, they're just speculation. I can only see it as I say it as I see it. That's just how I see it when I see the number plate go down. I wonder what he's doing for the Shire to get his number plate going down. I wonder if maybe a bunch of people are dead now and he just fucking rose up the thing. Wonder why they're dead, maybe from the vaccine. Why is he going up the thing? Well, because he seems to unofficially work for the Shire. Every conversation I have with him, he's undone any type of improvements I've done here. Since he's been here, there's a big gate. Apparently there was surveying pegs marked out where there was going to be a bridge put in, whether they were just going to plough through the fucking wetland there. Cut down countless fucking trees to put a fucking bridge to nowhere. All this was laid out, was it? Why? What flagged the arrival of APM, Anthony Paul Moulding? Was it my forced hospitalisation where my family strong-armed me to go to Ramsay Healthcare, where I was forcibly injected against my will, against the person who I arrived with's will? It's a big old fucking cesspit, isn't it, this Ramsay Healthcare? Mate, you were really right when you fucking said Hell's Kitchen. You do come from hell, don't you? Or don't you? Do you not want to be affiliated with this Ramsay Healthcare? I don't know. I don't fucking know, cunt. But sort it the fuck out. Guilty by association, that seems to be the fucking play of every single fucking person, every single mongrel fucking expat New English cunt that has arrived here and thrown fucking bullshit urbanite law into a place that's only just been settled, historically speaking. And the only strategy, avoidance at every cost. Avoid, 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 avoid and escalate. Avoid and escalate. Avoid and escalate. But now you're all doing it. You're all avoiding and escalating and refusing to make comment on the allegations I'm making, which just makes me look harder and further and every single little place that you're connected to. And I keep finding similarities. I keep finding little points where all of those fucking lines intertwine, right in one little point there. That's what I'm getting pissed off with. That's not paranoia. That's not psychosis. That's just observation and not being an idiot. So I look forward to seeing what this Shire's strategy is this morning. My guess is avoidance again. My guess is avoidance, and you're going to send a mentally ill woman who's just got out of a mental institution or a fucking processing facility, private processing facility, is how I would describe it. Because I wouldn't send my worst fucking enemy to Ramsay fucking healthcare. Not one of them. And if I do find out Gordon Ramsay's attached to it, I wouldn't send one fucking relative to any of his restaurants in a million fucking years. So I'm guessing he's going to want to do a big job in fucking clearing his association with this little scam that's running over here in Western Australia. They've always been this. I've been claiming that they're private processing facilities for a long time. It's outsourced torture. That's what the medical industry is. That's what especially the psychiatric industry is, and the pharmaceutical industry. It is forced processing of potentially disruptive people. Not disruptive necessarily to the world, disruptive to the family or to the individual's plans. If you stray outside whatever your family or your institution or whatever is doing, you will be processed at one of these private processing facilities where you'll be labelled, which permanently modifies you. You will now be seen as a mentally ill person. You will then be drugged. If ever you spurk up above a certain point, you will then be forcibly had this done to you so that you can be controlled. When is someone in government or in local policing or anything, or any type of thing, or healthcare, actually going to do their fucking job? When? The fucking boomers. An entire generation that didn't experience war but heard about it non-stop. And I guess they just wanted to know what Granddad and Dad was talking about. But they were too cowardly to actually do anything. And a coward's war is horrific. A coward's war is always horrific. World War II was a coward's war. World War I was a coward's war. They were all cowards' wars. War for thousands of years was not what you think it was, for the most part. The stories are wonderful. It's the same as the portraits of wars, of naval battles, of things like that. The portraits are wonderful. They express the emotion of the event. But a lot of times, the actual situation was far less kind of picture-worthy, far less noble and courageous and bloody and a lot of things. But they expressed it this way because this is the internal situation going on with the people that were actually doing the conflict. So a coward's war, what does it look like? Well, one, they're not going to do it themselves. They're going to outsource it. So this is an outsourced war. You can immediately start to see the picture I'm seeing, that I'm talking about. An outsourced war. Who on? On the young people. Committed by who? The old people. So the old people committed a war. They outsourced that war onto their own people. For what? So that they could mow their lawns. Yeah. So they could mow their fucking lawns. Well, the lawn's been mowed a while ago. It doesn't need mowing again. It's pretty, it's nothing fancy. Yeah, it's no Granville Park. Yeah, that's constantly getting watered every fucking day and night. It's no fucking Gingin Public School Oval that's constantly getting watered day and night. But it'll do. There's a nice shady tree. We can all have a little conversation nicely under there. Or you can just fail to again. And I'll take my dad's ashes home and I'll bring back hell. Non-stop. Every fucking day. I'll come for vacations just to fucking talk to people in Gingin. Find out what the next little level of the pyramid scheme is. What a little fucking shithole. Brad was right. My children's stepfather was right. Gingin is a shithole. Because it's been infiltrated by shit cunts. But not flying any flag. Still yet to see a flag. From anyone. And if you think that flying the Australian flag and dispossessing natively born, very long existing family members in this country that is Australia, if you think that's in alignment with the United Kingdom or Australia, you'd be completely fucking wrong. So what are you doing? All of you. Start fucking talking. Start answering. You think it's funny when you go and piss off the fucking Lancelin people. Oh, they're just a bunch of fucking hippie fucking drug addict fucking windsurfers. Yeah, that's probably because you don't do anything out there for them. Don't mind them. I live 2 minutes from the fucking Shire building. Where the fuck do you live, Goose Chase? Where did you come from? What the fuck are you doing in my town? And when I say my town, I don't mean mine specifically. I mean mine because I have ownership of it, because I lived here, because I planted trees here, because I've raised a family here. I pale in comparison with the families who've been here for a fucking similar amount of time as my family's been here. Some of them up to 180, 200 years on this land. And they send a Looney Tunes character to be the fucking CEO of the Shire. Well, mate, I expect you on my lawn this morning. Yeah? or I'll just see you in court non-stop. I've got nothing better to do, mate, and I've got to fucking kind of, you know what I mean, practice my legal skills. I think I'm getting better at it. I've just got to watch my swears, and I've got to remember to put a fucking shirt on in the morning. But I think I'll do all right, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Now, I guess the question I'm sending the UK is, well, your new English people are shit. England has indeed gone to shit. It is not capable of doing anything that maintains human life, nor makes anything better. It is just a parasitic fucking arrangement of mold that has grown on the fucking skeleton of the Industrial Revolution. So we don't want any more of them here, ever. Ever fucking again. Not one. Not one fucking UK fucking expat is to arrive on Australian soil. Yeah, you can sort out your own fucking shit, or you can help us, but then you need to expose what's been going on. The Dad's Army colonisation approach is not going to work into the future. It's going to bring nothing but fucking just hatred, which I've been trying my best to counter and to find a middle ground that is acceptable for most Australians, and you've gone and fucked it right the fuck up with your fucking socialist bullshit that projects all across the oceans, doesn't it, Kia? So why do I have a lawnmower man, pig farmer, ex-bomb maker apparently? Bombs, yeah, bombs, explosions to sabotage things. I will also note, just quietly, very kind of braggish about a certain fire at a certain piggery in town. Almost like he was admiring his own handiwork. Is that the extent that it really takes to get those numbers in the Gin Shire? I don't know. But I don't want your socialist fucking bullshit people here. I don't want them. Why isn't he mowing a fucking lawn in Coventry? Why is he here playing Lord of the Manor? Lord of the Manor, carer, fucking amateur fucking psychiatrist. Lots of things. All in a little package with little fucking scars on him from the hospital. Oh, he's getting an operation. Don't be mean to him, he's getting an operation. Isn't that convenient? Ramsay fucking healthcare. Where's he getting a fucking operation from? Another fucking socialist hospital? Where are we, Gaza? It seems like it. It fucking seems like it. It seems like we have the perfect fucking crime here. You get a bunch of non-descriptive, gentle-looking, cowardly cucks that do exactly as they're fucking told and just do disgusting things. That sounds like what the Nazis will have devolved to, yeah. We learned that when we put on the uniforms and do all the saluting, everyone sees us, so now we hide in this obscurity. But we still drive Volkswagens because the Volkswagen is the international symbol for the Nazi party. It's the people's wagon. And we leave England because we do not like the English, because we're Nazis. And so we live in Australia and we take money from the United Kingdom and we do a Nazi shit here. Like we drive the children around in a train and we drug and do medical experiments on people, including dogs. I don't know what you did to my dog, cunt. I don't want to know. But I've never seen her more fucked up than when she arrived back here. She was extremely overweight and looked like she was about to die. which is what my mum looked like under your care as well. And when I sat here for an hour yesterday and had a conversation with my mum where she's completely emotionless about pretty heavy fucking exposures of things that happened when I was a child, then I would say whatever drug she's on turns a bipolar woman into a psychopath. Now that's not a good fucking medicine, is it?
Do you want some psychopath juice this morning, love? Drink your psychopath juice. Emotionless and cold and calculating and disruptive. What a wonderful calculation. What a wonderful little concoction. We've stirred up a little bit of psychopath. We've turned it into disassociation. And a little bit of torture and Ramsay Healthcare. Oh, look at our lovely little latte we've made this morning.
Fucking Hell's Kitchen, all right. So I guess I'll wait. My mother, who's just arrived from a mental institution, has given me till 3 o'clock, and then apparently I'll be trespassing. She's not replied to any of the messages I've sent, which is very unlike my mother. So I'm very concerned with her treatment right now. I'd actually consider her kidnapped from hospital. Yes, the hospital, I'm saying, is negligent and probably doing some nasty shit. But she was discharged from hospital, then arrived in a taxi, and then kidnapped by the individual I'm claiming has been doing dirty, dirty business unofficially for the Gin Shire. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting day again. I've had 2 Mokonas. That's enough for me. I don't want to have any more Mokonas this morning. 2 Mokonas is a little bit much. But I don't have any money to go and buy any coffee from the wonderful See You at Park. Otherwise, I would stroll down there and get a lovely latte made there. But I don't have any money because I have had to voluntarily go into poverty for over 2 years in order to make this stand and expose this pyramid scheme, amongst other things. So maybe if you do rock up, you could bring me a coffee. You could say, hey, Renee, we'll get an iced latte. And I'll just trust you that you haven't spat in it or put poison in it, despite that being, that you love to poison everything, including every fucking square metre of the fucking roadside, the water course here, the brook, and more than likely, human beings. But I'll trust you. Yeah, I'll trust you because there's probably surveillance. And that would be a bad idea to try and poison me at the last minute with a fucking iced latte from See You at Park. That would be stupid. Everyone knows that would be stupid. And I don't fucking care. Because if I die on the front lawn of my mum's house after making this video, because I was poisoned by the Shire, then I guess I made my point. Didn't I? And I have in fact been poisoned by the Shire. Repeatedly. In every sense of the word. And once my lungs and body and skin and everything is rejuvenated by the beautiful Tasmanian air, I'll pull myself up by my bootstraps and I'll start work in pursuing all the damages that a type of pyramid scheme, like Enron, you know what I mean? Like Enron, like what's his name? That guy. Like Bondi, Alan Bond. Tons of people have tried this, and it's just something that they keep trying to do. It's just this one's real gross because it involved a lot of fucking really dodgy shit. And that's what I will love exposing. Yep. If I was in the military, I'd probably be a sniper. And so I'm a bit of a legal sniper. Can see you from ages away, and I'll be able to see you from Tassie. And I will just keep on fucking popping yous off legally until the whole fucking house of cards falls down. And I've got nothing better to do. Yeah, I keep sending my demo tapes to fucking Sony and whatever other fucking record labels there are, and I just am not making it in the rock and roll scene. I thought I was going to be a rock and roller, but it turns out I'm probably going to be a fucking lawyer. Once I learn how not to swear. Yeah. Lawyer or a writer. I think a writer's good, but I really can't just let this type of shit go on. So I'd better fucking pick up my wig or learn more about what even that is. Should probably get a mentor or something like that, who can hone this rough stone into a fine block of marble that is succinct enough to actually cash the checks that I'm writing continuously with my mouth. But I trust that. I've done this process many times with many different skill sets, including most of the ones that you sabotaged with your unofficial bully boys. I don't want to call them bully boys, because if I was left to the 1600s or even the 1800s when my family arrived here, I would have dealt with that immediately on the front lawn. Yeah. A lot of resources going into this, to the protection of these two fugitives on the run. One escaped mental patient, and the second an accused abuser, abusing his position as carer and interchanging between boyfriend and carer. Which are you, Paul? Are you a carer or are you a boyfriend? Are you a fiance? Are you a husband? What are you exactly? Two Pension Paul. What is Two Pension Paul doing with my mom when he's kidnapped her and taken her to his den, where he's making her say things when she won't reply with her voice? Sounds like she's being tortured and different types of things, and I'm upset that this can't just be sorted out, and I don't understand why this soft policing policy continues on. Sometimes the old lady is not just an old lady. I understand the optics of pursuing two elderly people for complicated charges, for complicated things, does not look good. It doesn't look good to put old people in the back of police cars. So don't bring them something nice to arrest them in. I don't know. That's not my job. But the person that arrived in that taxi yesterday is not my mother. She never is my mother when she arrives back from Ramsay Healthcare. She's a fucking drugged out fucking zombie who does whatever her handler tells her to do. And her handler at the moment is, in my observation, a kidnapper. And if we triangulate this back to my sister, who's also mentally ill and treated for mental illness, and has a wonderful list of catchphrases that I'd love to wheel out, of her opinion and her observation of the world, her thought process on how the world should be, is really interesting when it's projected out into a public sphere, which is what all legal testimony is. It's a court of your peers. So me doing preparatory work in this capacity and open to discussion is an out-of-court arrangement. Court, to use the resources of the state or the federal or whatever court facilities in an issue that can be worked out publicly, quite easily. This is the way that all things have been done for a very long time. Courts are usually a last resort, the same as police were a last resort. So misuse of police resources should be getting, scrutiny, put under scrutiny, but it's not, because it pays your wages. Well, you need to find other ways to pay your wages. That's a simple supply and demand issue. If you guys want to work more because you like your jobs and you're doing your job and you need something to fill in the time between actual horrific fucking crimes, then why don't you pursue these things, which are legal? Why aren't people doing this chain of action? Why have we become an outsourced policing empire that just runs on hearsay and lies. Well, it's complicated. Yeah, but what about we introduce police work that you guys like to do, which I don't know. I'd like to ask you, I'd like to hear feedback. Hey, what would the police like to do? What did you get into policing for? Did you get into policing for standing on a front lawn and dealing with mentally ill people, purposefully causing disruption? No, you didn't. Then what did you get into policing for? Did you get into policing to take out giant organised criminal financial scams? Probably not either. No, you probably got into police work because you saw the ad by the West Australian government where you were going to be jumping out of helicopters and abseiling down buildings and it looked like the Matrix. Well, that's weird that they did that ad. I don't know why they did that ad. Their PR is obviously as shit as my sister's PR. Because why would you work for the government if you're really good at PR? And that's the real problem. But if I was doing PR for the police force, I would probably do outreach programs like boxing, like martial arts, like gym stuff, like planting trees, whatever it is, the specific interests of whatever local police officers there were. It could be dance, it could be music, it could be anything. That is a far more effective policing strategy, to do outreach, so that you understand the people, so that you understand that your allies are not all having low numbers on their number plates, that they're all spread out in all different demographics of society. Quite often you'll find the most valuable members of the community to do appropriate and effective police work would be the people that are being dispossessed and pushed out by the sometimes elderly, quite often in this current age, elderly cohort of local elite property owners that are lording themselves over the place with their vulturous children in the foreground just licking their lips and hoping that Nana falls in the fucking shower. What does this lead to? It leads to stagnation. It leads to stalling out, which if you're in an aeroplane is very bad, which I suppose is the same as a helicopter that you were told you can jump out of. So the helicopter's stalled that you're in, and it's going to fall out of the sky and crash into the fucking ground. So maybe as a collective group of hardworking, dedicated, wonderful police officers, you could start requesting things like this. Hey, we want to do outreach because we're concerned that there is some type of unseen thing going on. We're not quite in a position to see this like our federal counterparts or like our intelligence counterparts, but we're very concerned that the youth of this nation is being dispossessed and restricted in a myriad of different ways, more than likely by their very own family and communities. And we'd like to learn the lay of the land by doing outreach in however it best suits our individual officers. And we would like to be benefited, to be paid for our time commitments to this. Perhaps in a maybe 70% capacity or something on our free time. I don't know how exactly that would be organised to get real police in our communities. Because Gin Gin is not London. Despite the two beautiful English police officers arriving, it ain't London, yeah? It's a small country town. It's stuck like in the fucking 1800s or something like that, but we've got phones. That's about the difference, yeah? So you rocking up with guns to my front lawn to deal with my mentally ill mother and then telling me I'm not allowed to choke out someone who I'm claiming is kidnapping her, it's not an appropriate fucking thing, no matter how many Gordon Ramsays tell you. I've never seen you two before ever in my life. I appreciate the egalitarian nature of how you dealt with that. But without outreach, without understanding the individual place, you're going to fall into the same pitfalls that every single other person is falling into constantly. I report to the king. That's it. If anything happens to the king, all hell will break loose. Immediately. All of you know this. My only connection to the United Kingdom is the king, because it's a kingdom. The current Prime Minister, I have no association with, I have no loyalty to. There is nothing at all that individual could ever say that would change my mind. But that's just me. So we're in a situation, aren't we? We're constantly in this same situation. It's called a socialist revolution. And when clear PR signals are sent that something is going to happen to the king, either as a joke, as a priming thing to say, hey, this is just a big joke. It's not a fucking joke. It's never a fucking joke. If I was in England, I'd stroll up to 10 Downing Street and I'd stick a fucking knife in that cunt's artery and I'd bleed him fucking dry. But that's not how they do things there anymore. That's just how they used to do things. That's how they used to do things when they sent the people here to colonise here. So if you continue to send your new English people here with this fictitious digital control system with no proof, no backing, nothing, then we will just continue to ignore it. The layers of this cake keep emerging. And so many of them are spoiled. And this is an English conflict right here. And my suggestion is to take the parasite and remove him. And take him back to England. And take his family back to England. I want no record of that individual ever having lived here. Ever. I want a big pile of fucking horse manure put on his fucking grave. How many ways do I need to say it? The problem with socialists is that it has no end point. That's why it's bad. It's sometimes hard to kind of get to why it's bad. It's bad because it has no end point. The king, just a normal person, or the queen, just a person, but bestowed with a responsibility that is pretty grave. If unless you're a psychopath, like my mum was presenting yesterday. My mum would not be a good queen. But that responsibility for normal, morally driven, people that actually care is quite heavy. And so when enough cries come to that point, they will listen and they can stop things that, if they weren't there, would not be able to be stopped. So this socialist growth thrives on this exact thing. Constantly reminding us of the misdeeds of previous kings, now hundreds of years in the past. Whilst in the shadows, positioning themselves as that and using new technology that makes the old stuff look completely fucking like kindergarten. Mass capture, mass psychological warfare, mass indoctrination, mass coercion, mass destruction of the environment to appease their ambitious geographical ambitions. Slash and burn every scrap of loyal culture to the United Kingdom. Kingdom. Not the United fucking Labour Party. To go through the mental exercise of exploring what it would actually be like to wear a crown, to wear that crown specifically, will lead you in the only position you would ever want to be in, is that would be the worst job in fucking human history. You would never want that job in a million fucking years. It's bullshit. And when people, in my understanding, when people do shit jobs voluntarily, which it's a voluntary capacity, he doesn't have to do it. None of them do. We appreciate them as a society. At least that's how I was brought up. Now, this is the position that this kidnapper is sitting in. He's appeasing the people by saying he's a carer. He's not a carer. He hasn't cared for anyone. There's been systemic abuse, alienation, division, destruction of the property. And God knows what else was happening behind closed doors. You can tell a lot about a man by what DVD or Blu-ray he decides to give you. Hacksaw Ridge, was it, Paul? About an army ambulance that was non-violent, that went in there and just rescued people. Is that who you are? That's usually what people give you when they give you movies. They give you a movie of who they think they are. You think you're that guy. You think you're rushing in the ambulance and rescuing people from a war. Then what, am I at war with my mother, am I? In your mind, maybe. Yeah, perhaps in your mind. Perhaps your interactions with destruction of property and making bombs and special services has led you to think that everyone's at war all the time and that you're rescuing in, you're floating in your ambulance, that you were an ambulance driver. Remember that for the St. John ambulance in Gingin, the Gingin Shire. You're a hero, Paul. You're just like that guy in Hacksaw Ridge, except he was in a war running into gunfire to bring his people, his brothers in arms, out of fucking gunfire riddled with bullets. He wasn't kidnapping old mentally ill women and forcing them to alienate their sons, their grandchildren. That's not who that movie's about. Is it, Paul? You're in a very different situation than that man. That man was courageous. He ran into bullets, but refused to shoot them. You've run away from bullets and have invented new ones. That's the worst of the worst. That's what the Nazis did. Bullets were too expensive. It was easier just to train them all into places and poison them and gas them and stick them in ovens. Cowardice has a certain aroma to it. It has a certain feel to it. And it's always the same. And like I said, when the government pays mentally ill people to disrupt effective, innovative, resilient people, then you know the socialists are in charge. You know the communists believe that they have total control when this type of bullshit is going on, protected by the individuals supposed to prevent crime, supposed to prevent misuse of power. But once again, I find myself in the position today of forcibly fleeing the state of my birth in order to create an avenue of escape for my 3 children. This is the state I've been in physically and conceptually for about 3 years now. Not me saying on Twitter, I'm going to leave if Donald Trump's president. No, fleeing. Because none of the observations I'm doing are being processed. Nothing. Just all going on in fucking plain sight. And I don't fucking care about Western Australia enough to start digging in and exposing that this is taking place in hospitals. Because that's a really hard job to do. Look what happened in Gaza when they're literally fucking shooting missiles out of hospitals. And that was hard enough there to do, let alone in a Western country like this, in a, supposedly fucking glorious state of Western Australia. That job's just too hard for me to do. But when I leave, I'm going to make sure that everyone fucking knows what the fucking score is. Politicians sell, and they sell you hospitals, and then they use their hospitals to do whatever they fucking need to do to continue feeding you bullshit. And just like one of my mum's many squeezers, Anthony Paul Moulding, who will only technically describe himself as a carer to the police, not as a boyfriend or a fiance or anything like that, just a carer. Carer to the police, boyfriend to mum. Carer to the police, boyfriend to mum. That's a manipulative psychopath if I've ever seen one. But like I said, Gingin's lost. Gingin's lost. It's gone. It's vanished. It's been overrun by fucking the dregs that have fucking drifted here from the United Kingdom. The people that have been pushed off the island, probably for trying the same thing there, and landed here, but still propped up by the Labour Party of the United Kingdom's retirement fund that retires and financially, at arbitrage rates, may I mind you, at arbitrage rates. Yes, we're going to pay them at United Kingdom rates to squat on colonial soil, and then we're going to kill the king in his orchard. Kia, if you touch the king, mate, there will be 200,000 Australians at 10 Downing Street the next day. Even if the king dies now, it's going to be really bad. He's got cancer, apparently. So it's like, it's not going to look good if he just fucking drops dead. We're still going to do it because we're going to assume you did it. And that's not going to be good. Yeah, we don't care about the fucking bullshit desert down here. We're going to take the fucking homeland and protect the king, the new king. And nothing will stand in our way of doing that job. Nothing. No police, no military, nothing. If anything happens to the king after the Prime Minister basically visually displays his death, then all hell will break loose. Every demon that is locked away in every fucking cavern will be let loose and given one mission: protect the king. Every little white-hand grub that has found its way here will be dispatched in the public square. Like the Lion King. It's like the beginning of the Lion King, yeah? If William is made king because his father is murdered, then all the fucking animals will sing that song off the Lion King. Which a lot of those animals are fucking murderous carnivorous fucking creatures that fucking kill constantly to stay alive. But there needs to be a message clearly sent that the United Kingdom is in fact still united, that the Commonwealth is still united by the United Kingdom with a king on the throne, not a fucking squatting fucking socialist cunt projecting his fucking housing fucking complex, what do they call it? Public housing fucking mentality to all corners of the earth. Disconnected from any policing or any adjudication. Hey, just send these mentally retarded people to go and disrupt like little towns. Yeah, no, they haven't developed enough of a social cohesion like areas in the United Kingdom, so they'll be completely helpless to defend themselves against this type of nefarious infiltration. Bullshit. Bullshit, mate. Australians are bored, yeah, because we don't have fucking that Ferris wheel in our town that looks like a giant eye. We don't have that. You didn't send it here for us to have a play of it. We wanted to have a play of it. You just hogged it all in London. So if Australians get the choice to load up fucking ships and to re-storm home fucking land, home ahoy, we'll fucking do it. Every fucking shed in every fucking back alley of thing will be producing a fucking ship. Our tractors will be turned into motors. We will steam the fucking shore and we will gut every socialist traitor that we can find. If we find individuals of the Muslim faith that wish to participate and help us realign our kingdom in order to peacefully coexist with us, then we will do this. But our Tsar is not being killed. We've put a lot of work into that. Now, I don't want to ring that bell. So I hope to hell that the fucking representatives I've requested from the Western Australian Gingin Shire arrive on my mum's front lawn this morning. Now, I don't know how the artist would display this. I mean, perhaps it'd be clanging swords and fucking horses and flags and explosions and dead people everywhere. That would express what's going on in my observation of the place I live in, despite the best interest to clean up all the observable mess by all the little wonderful public servants of our Labor dictatorship. But a non-arrival, ooh, that's going to not play well in the history books. That's not going to play well in the history books. It's going to be a bad mark. It's going to be the number one tool I'm going to use for probably multiple years to just flush all of you out. Like a pheasant. Send the dogs in, flush them out, bang! But no actual shooting, nothing. Just legal, above the board law. Not lawfare, actual law. What the law was designed for, to stop criminals. So we're going to stop the criminals, we're going to expose the criminals, we're going to dig like the diggers of past, but we're going to do it in a courtroom, we're going to do it with investigation, we're going to do it because it's fucking fun. And when I'm not doing that, I'm going to be planting trees probably in the Shire. Maybe I'll get a little infiltration person and give them a special number plate that says, fuck Gin on it. To plant rhododendrons on the verges. Rhododendrons on the verges. Who knows? It's a weird and wacky world. And I'm just a guy talking to my phone, aren't I? All I ever think is like, imagine we had Shakespeare talking into his phone. Not saying I'm Shakespeare. I'm not saying that. Yeah. Imagine we had George Washington speaking to a phone. What would it look like? Probably different than what you think. Because as I said, portraits are drawn to reflect the emotional turmoil going on in the scene. That's usually agreed upon, and then especially agreed upon by whoever won. So if I'm being pushed off this land, I'd love to see the Gingin Shire's portrait of what's happening. I'd love to see that. I can't wait. Get all the... If you're not going to rock up on the lawn, rock up at the Granville Centre, named after a historic family of the place, and find an artist. My mum's fucked quite a few, so maybe ask one of them to draw the portrait of me being pushed off, the resistance being pushed off the land. How does that look? How does that look of the collective of the Gingin Shire? These things are expected in these circumstances. Yeah, I'm not some type of fickle adversary that can just be forgotten about. You're going to have to make a portrait. And I want to see what the collective Gingin Shire displays that portrait as. You know, free artistic expression is wonderful. I want you all to collectively decide, what does that image look like? You can exaggerate, that's part of it. It's poetic license, artistic license. Draw it however you see fit. Yeah, but just make sure it's drawn. Yeah, when my children rock up to the place where their father was dispelled from by a fucking, I don't know, by a ragtag team of fucking degenerate fucking sociopaths, I want them to see that image reflecting that. If that is my catastrophe, if I'm an evil demon and I'm being cast into things, do that. Whatever it is, I want to see it. I want to see what it looks like in 2025. Yeah, not just secret number plates with secret numbers. I want to see a big portrait. Yeah, I've got a bit of an ego that needs a little bit of a stroke. Okay, I feel like I've put up a sufficient fight. Yes, I am. Well, it depends on whether the Shire rocks up. If they don't rock up, I'm just going to basically leave. And so I want to see what that looks like. The Great Gingin Avoidance War. How'd you get rid of him? We just didn't answer any of his texts or emails. We just pretended he didn't exist and he just left. He just left and we never heard from him ever again. Ever again. We are Gingin. Woo!